Stepping into my house, I relish in the joys of air conditioning once again. Ah.
Oh, welcome back. The pizza got here a bit ago, so I ate some of it.
Siri calls to me from the living room. Damn, is it cold yet?
No, it's still warm.
Nice. I start packing away my groceries into the various cabinets of my kitchen. It's as I finish and look towards my front door that I first notice something's wrong. Sayori.
Yes?
Walking into my living room, I find Sayori's lounging lazily while mindlessly watching whatever's on TV. And on my table, I find 2 boxes of pizza with most of the top box's slices gone. Counting the discarded box I found near my door, that makes 3. To the left of these boxes is a smaller box, not completely empty, with only traces of cinnamon glazing left on the wax paper bottom.
Sorry, I was hungrier than I thought, so
Sayori watches as I walk over and begin to rummage through the pull-out cabinets in my kitchen. Locating a hammer, I grab a hold of it and make my way back towards my door. Sayori? Do you still use that piggy bank from back in middle school?
Sometimes. Why?
I place the hammer's head into the palm of my left hand. I've got a debt to collect. A light seems to go off in Sayori's head as she realizes what exactly I'm planning. I assume she began to try and convince me, but I wouldn't know, because the next moment I've already began running over to her house.
Wait! Leave little P out of this!
If his deadbeat owner can't pay up, then he'll pay with his life! Stuffing a slice of lukewarm pizza in my mouth, I turn to my right and look at the still shaken Sayori. You gonna stop cradling that thing soon?
No! If I let my guard down, you'll take the chance to smash him open!
Her grip on the ceramic pig tightens as she draws it closer to her chest, keeping her full attention on me. Relax, I was joking about shattering him.
Liar!
She doesn't seem willing to light up. I guess we'd lighten up. I start to wonder if she'll be on guard the whole night before I remember the contents of my pocket. Here, you like these things, right? Pulling out the small capsule, I toss it over to her. To my surprise, she catches it, although just barely.
What's this?
It's a toy I got while I was shopping. I saw the machines while I was waiting for Monica to finish shopping and thought I'd buy you something.
Monica?
Oh, I ran into her while I was walking to the store, and she decided to come along.
I thought she was busy. What was she doing hanging out around town?
I detect an abnormal amount of venom in Sayori's words, but I decide to ignore it and simply shrug. Hell if I know. She just said that she had business over there earlier and finished it up just as she saw me.
If she had time to walk around, she could have at least made sure to warn us the club was canceled for the day before we all wasted time.
She said it was sudden, and she seemed pretty serious about it. I'm sure it just slipped her mind. My laid-back responses seem to knock Sayori back into her usual mood. She looks away from me with an ashamed look on her face.
Is that so?
Her voice becomes quieter and she stares at the capsule with a distant expression. At least her mood changed, but I'm not sure I like this Sayori any better. You going to open the capsule?
Oh, right!
She quickly grabs a hold of the capsule and pops the dome off, causing the plastic dog to almost fall onto the ground. Taking the toy into her hands, she takes a moment to study it before smiling with her signature smile.
Aw, look at him. He's so cute.
You think so? I thought he was kind of strange looking, especially with that bit of chipped off paint.
That's what makes him unique. Thanks. I'll take good care of him and take him on walks every night.
You'll need to conquer your fear of the night first.
For Jonathan, I'll do anything.
Jonathan?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to call him.
You named your plushies Mr. Cow and Borb, and your piggy bank Lil P, but you give the cheap plastic dog a normal name?
He can't have a silly name like that. Can't you tell he's a professional and serious dog? He needs a serious name to go along with it.
Figuring out the workings of your mind could be one of the Millennium Prize problems. Turning back to the TV, I leave Sayori to stare in wonder at her new toy. I feel a smile creep onto my face as I watch her play around with the small dog in my peripheral vision. Suddenly, I feel a sudden force collide with me, suddenly. Right after it collides with my side, a pair of arms wrap themselves around me. Uh-oh. Sayori, you don't need to be so.
There's a mouse.
Huh? I direct my eyes along Sayori's pointed finger and make eye contact with a small furry bundle of white.
He must have been attracted by all the pizza.
All these boxes of food would be like a feast to him and his rodent brethren.
Did we just wait for him to scurry away?
I have a better idea. I look Sayori in the eye and firmly grip her shoulder. As we make eye contact, I flash her a confident smile. A confidant smile. Take her, you furry bastard! And throw her directly in the path of the mouse.
Ah, you traitor!
The mouse scurries backwards to avoid being crushed by Sayori's weight. I take the opportunity to grab one of the mostly untouched boxes of pizza and run up my stairs. Boxes of pizza. Good luck, Sayori. If you're alive by tomorrow morning, I'm sure we'll be able to laugh about this.
Wait, don't just leave me here!
Once I make it to my bedroom, I quickly grab a hold of my bookshelf and throw it onto its side, barricading my door. Almost immediately afterwards, Sayori comes banging against my door.
You can't just leave me out here!
Like hell I can't. It's your fault that creature woke up anyways.
Do you want an apology? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for buying 4 boxes of pizza. I'm sorry for buying dessert. Just don't leave me out here with it.
Wait, 4? Where the hell did the 4th box go?
Grandpa, I mean. Whatever, just let me in, please.
Even if I did overlook you wasting my money, it's too late to ask for help. The shelf's been knocked over. You're on your own.
What? You're joking, right? Why'd you stop talking? Hey, come on, stop joking around and let me in.
May my friend find peace in the next life.
Huh? What are you? Ah!
All goes silent as Sayori lets out a final screech of terror. It's at this moment I've realized that my childhood friend has finally passed on. Auf Wiedersehen, Sayori. I'm sure I butchered that. After taking the time to offer my prayer for my departed friend, I stand up and reach for a slice of pizza. Huh? As I chew on the deformed slice, I notice the manga I had given Sayori earlier thrown on the ground. She must have tossed it when the fire started. I reach down and examine the page, finding that it, miraculously, doesn't appear to have been creased or torn at all. She's still as careless as ever. I take a glance at the page that's been left open. I begin to flip through the pages, slowly recalling the volume's plotline. With that, the memories of my acquisition flood back to me as well. You sure it's alright if I have this issue? It's the first one, so it's bound to worth a fair bit, right?
Yeah, it's fine. We're friends, right? If I ever want to read it again, I can just ask for it back or come over.
I suppose that's true. She falls backwards onto my bed.
Though that doesn't mean you can just treat it like any kind of book. Nyan Nyan Sugar Girls is a series of the highest caliber. As a result, you must treat that manga with the same level of care you would give a newborn.
That would have almost sounded cool if it came from anyone else. As I say that, I lay next to her. I'm not really interested in magical girl stuff, though. I doubt I'll get much enjoyment from this.
Don't discredit it from the genre alone. I'll have you know that...
Yeah, highest caliber. But honestly, you saying that only makes me more worried. Kamiko lifts her hand and lightly bonks me on the head.
Just give it a chance, okay? I wouldn't have given it to you if I felt there was no chance you'd enjoy it.
Alright. I toss the manga onto my computer desk for later before returning my gaze to the ceiling. Are we gonna do anything else this weekend?
I don't know. I didn't expect us to go through everything already.
It took a lot less time than I expected, honestly. What is it, 2 a.m.? She reaches into her pocket and takes a glance at her phone's lock screen.
Holy crap, it's 12 p.m. on Saturday.
We've been at it for almost 24 hours?
Time flies when you're watching cat girls being cute. But when they're gone, it feels as if life loses its luster.
You're a different kind of pervert entirely.
Don't act like you're not into it either. Besides, there's more to me than that.
Like your love of
It was one doujin.
I'm sure it was.
There's nothing wrong with it. Don't try to lecture me, you borderline lolicon.
All my girls are 18 or older, ma'am.
Then find stories where they don't have the bodies of 5th graders.
Time passes. I'm not sure how much time has, but it feels like we've both become one with my bedsheets.
You can't save her for her. Only she can save herself.
41st chapter of Tensei. Kai to Raku right before he tries to help Tsubasa with her mother.
Correct.
Why the sudden trivia?
No reason. I've just been thinking about some of the lines from Tensei now that it's over. There really was some interesting stuff in there. I often think back to that one in particular. It's one of those things you'd have a hard time refuting, but you just want to.
Yeah, I see what you mean. People can only be helpful if they help themselves. Something to that effect.
You can help people figure out what they need to change to save themselves, but only they can actually do something about it. It makes you feel helpless, in a way. You really want to help someone, but there's something you can do, or nothing you can do, besides hoping that they'll change.
I'm sure it's hard to watch, especially if the person is incapable of helping themselves. Or maybe I'm just weird.
You definitely are.
Hey.
I think it's a good thing to be that concerned about someone else. It means you're a good person. It's easy to get worked up about making someone happy, and if it's out of your hands, you only want to do it more. But sometimes there's nothing you can do at all. You just have to accept the inevitable.
Hey, should we get something to... As I turn to speak to her, I find a sight that would stick with me for a lifetime. Kamiko, after nearly a day of catching up on anime with me, had fallen asleep in the middle of our conversation. You can't just drop such a heavy topic then pass out. I poke her face to try and wake her up, but she has almost no reaction to it. This would be the first of many more times throughout my freshman year that she would fall asleep on my bed. But this particular instance is always the one I think back to. For a while, I wasn't sure why. It's only here, in retrospect, that I understand why it stuck with me so much. Whatever. Thinking back on that day only causes me to cringe in embarrassment as I remember what was going through my mind. The moment those memories flood back, I instantly try to toss them out. I toss the manga onto my bed and return to my computer chair, typing away meaninglessly as I try to push these thoughts into the back of my mind. Poem 5. Skanda. Dots. Wait, what do you mean we don't have a poet of the day ready?
Well, Monica didn't talk about it at the last meeting, so no one wrote one.
Then what the hell are we supposed to put here?
Something funny?
Fuck. There you go. No poet of the day this time. I'm not an idol person. I'm sure that feels really out of place to say, especially so late, but it's something I like to clarify. Because no matter who I talk to, everyone seems to think I'm an idol fan. The sort of person who obsesses over stage girls, buys all their songs, collects their photo books, and stalks their social media. Maybe I exude the presence of an idol otaku, or my interests would seem to line up perfectly with those kinds of people that it's natural to make that assumption. The truth is, the opposite, actually. It isn't fair to say I dislike the media surrounding idols, though. Their songs are fine enough, they're pretty, though that's only due to the excessive amount of effort their agencies put in, and the dancing is captivating. I just don't like their characters. Their public personas, carefully crafted to entice the lonely and desperate. I can't stand them at all. Anytime I see an idol on stage or online, I can't help but think about how much effort they're putting into keeping their act together. And once I start thinking about it, I notice all the small details that give away the uncomfortable reality. Their constant smiles, their songs about love, the outfits meant to accentuate their slender legs and frames. It's all so artificial. There is, of course, the more emotional side as well. While it's uncommon, an idol breaking down all of a sudden isn't unheard of. It's only natural, being required to remain so happy all the time, being forced to be this perfect, unreachable person. It'd get to you. So agencies search for those strong-willed women capable of withstanding such immense pressures. After all, the stronger the woman, the less likely they are to break down, ergo the less of a risk they are to the brand, to the money. I used to wonder how much greedy people can exist, how people who'd sacrifice their emotions over cash came into being. However, after thinking it over, I've come to the conclusion such people don't exist. Rather, the industry preys on the ignorance of their talent. But this is all stuff idol fans know. No one sensible pursues an interest in an idol without the knowledge that they're just putting on an act, and the cruelty of the industry is common knowledge. So each idol fan has silently agreed amongst themselves to ignore these facts, Rather than ignorance, it is a deliberate decision of apathy. Yet, I've never been able to accept such blatant fraudulence. Maybe there's just something wrong with me, some trait I lack that allows me to enjoy something that many others do. I'm sure there's a me out there in the countless worlds that span the multiverse that adores everything about idols, a me that gushes over their candied smiles and alluring dresses, a me, a better me, who is able to forgive their disingenuous behavior. But I'm not him. And so, I'll always be looking for, or from afar, at those sorts of people, wondering how they're able to enjoy such obvious insincerity. And the whole time, one thing will be swirling through my mind. Idols really are the worst. As the bell rings, I collect my things and watch as students slowly step out into the hallway. I can feel the slow dread of the school year creep up on me with each passing bell.
Don't get me wrong, he's a nice dude, but all he does is sleep with alcoholics and sluts. Although those aren't mutually exclusive, I guess.
He used to be such a hard-ass, too. We'd have to drag him outside every time we hung out. As the 1 month mark approaches, the difficulty in the assignments begins its rapid incline. And just like every year, I've begun to feel an increasing amount of apathy towards completing them. Such is the cycle of life. Thinking over it, the only difference between this year and the last few is my obligations to the literature club. Speaking of which, I toss my bag over my shoulder and begin walking towards the club room. And then he was like, "Tell me your kinks so I know what to do to you." And I'm sitting there like, I have a boyfriend. You wouldn't have this problem if you stopped talking to those kind of guys. I know that, but, it's fun to see what they'll say, you know? Uh-huh. I'm telling you, I was in control the whole time. Right, and it was your fully conscious decision to show all the guys in our class your baby photos? There's nothing wrong with that. It's a little odd, sure, but... Wait, this isn't me. Stepping outside, a number of students slowly shuffle down the halls. Here's another part of the cycle, the shift from after-school stampedes to slow trickles of students. As the year progresses, the excitement that once filled the school's hallways at the final bell becomes a much more subdued, but still hasty shuffle. It's like some sort of unconscious acceptance of fate. We'll just be back here tomorrow, so why rush? Fridays are still horrible, though. I've never been especially good with crowded halls, so having to squeeze myself past people is making me a bit uncomfortable. And then there's the awkward shuffle from deciding which side of the hall the other person is going to use. At times like this, I wish that Sayori were with me. I knew ahead of time that she'd be busy, but I still feel the need to sit around and wait for her to show up. I wonder if this is what Stockholm Syndrome is like. As I'm nearing the stairs, a large group of guys come out of the bathroom at once. A pungent smell clings to them, and I scrunch my nose as they walk past. Some things never change. Huh? You say something? No? Opening the door, a familiar scene lays before me. The club room is totally empty, with no signs that anyone's been here since Friday. Well, empty aside from Yuri sitting near the front, who immediately notices me and flashes me a smile.
Hello, Secretary.
Hey, you're early as always.
My last class is close by. I'm usually here just as the room's being unlocked.
I see. Oh, yeah. Reaching into my bag, I pull out Yuri's water bottle. You forgot this.
Oh, so you did have it. I was worried when I realized I had left it behind.
It means that much to you, huh?
Well, it's just an average bottle, but it was a gift.
Oh, alright. Yuri takes the bottle from my hands and places it into her bag. I find a seat next to her and we begin talking just like we had the week prior. It filled me with a small sense of happiness to have Yuri speaking to me so casually, though she was also pretty friendly from the start.
By the way, do you know where the others are? Did Monica have to cancel the club again today?
I don't think so. She's probably just late again. As for Sayori and Natsuki, I wouldn't worry about them.
Oh?
Sayori texted me earlier. Apparently she's going to make sure the imp shows up.
Oh, well, that's good, but... now that you've said it's Sayori tracking her down, I'm starting to worry.
That's completely warranted. Rather than confirm her fears, I decide to move on to something else. At least her persistence is good for something.
She's very passionate about this club.
Yeah, maybe too much, though. It's exhausting trying to keep up with her.
You think so? I find it invigorating, personally. Having someone with so much enthusiasm is nice. I've never met anyone like her before.
Give it some time. It'll start to wear on you. Yuri holds in a small giggle. As the two of us continue talking, Monica walks into the clubroom. She takes a quick glance at us before taking a look around the room.
Is it just you two today?
Nah. Sayori's out, probably dragging Natsuki down the hallway. They'll be here soon enough.
Ah, well, it's good to know we'll have 5 members again, I guess.
Monica walks over to the teacher's desk and places her bag next to the rolling chair. Turning back to us, Monica takes a moment to watch me and Yuri talk before chiming in again.
You two sure are close, so I did miss something on Friday.
Eh? Monica giggles at my flustered reaction and walks over to me to whisper into my ear.
I can make sure the others leave you two alone if you want.
I'm good, thanks, though.
Oh, are you sure?
The more she insists, the less insistence I'm able to put up, though I'm definitely better about it now.
Don't be so tense. I'm just teasing a bit.
Yeah. I look over towards Yuri, expecting her to be nervously playing with her fingers or awkwardly inching away from me, but... She seems to be in deep thought about something. I decide not to disturb her.